Hi everyone, my name's Debbie. Welcome to this Pilates practice. I'm going to be taking you through the practice today and we're going to be working up to a bind. It's not going to be for everyone, but there'll be options. We're going to warm our spine up, we're going to do some Pilates roll up, roll downs. We're going to be using some hand weights. So if you've got hand weights, you don't have to use them. If you've got them, it would be good. I've said before, you can always use you can use water bottles, but not empty is what I was going to say. Make sure they've got water in, but they'll be for our sit-ups, so we're warming up our stomach, we're warming up our core, and we're warming up our spine, and we're going to work ourselves up to hopefully holding ourselves in a nice little twisted bind. But again, there's going to be options all the way along. So if you want to shimmy along, if you've heard my blurb and you heard about myself before and you've done one of my practices, then do so. But if you want to just stay here and you're brand new and you've not done a practice before and you want to hear a little bit about me, then just stay put. So as I said, my name's Debbie. I've been doing Pilates now for around about the last 18 years, probably even more now. It started after I had a premature menopause at the age of 29. I got osteopenia, went into full-blown osteoporosis, and then I prolapsed my disc. So that was no fun. Started taking medication, I was having endless physiotherapy treatments, etc. And I decided I needed to look elsewhere and find something different to sort of help me out here. Pilates popped up and I haven't looked back. So if you're here for similar ailments, I hope that this practice help you. If you're here just for the pure enjoyment of exercise again, I hope it's something that you warm to as well and enjoy. So we're going to start by laying down. Actually, I didn't say right at the beginning, if you've got a boulder or a blanket that you can roll up, we're just going to work today. We're going to start our little practice with it underneath our legs. But if you haven't, then don't worry about it. You can take your legs long. So take yourself to your mat and lay yourself down. Put in the boulder or a rolled up blanket underneath your knees just to keep them soft and keep them like gentle down there. And then allow yourself to roll back. Don't just drop down. If you need to use your arms to take yourself down, if you need to use behind your legs to bring yourself down, then do so. But make sure you hold your core as you come down and you support your core, you support your spine, and you bring yourself to the floor nice and slowly. So just give your legs a little lift up and down here, just working them up and down. If you've got a boulder, if you're on the with your legs long, then just bringing your legs up and down, just moving them around, getting yourself comfortable. You might want to twist your ankles one way and then the other. And then allow the legs, wherever you are, to just drop down. If you've got lower spine issues, then having a boulder underneath your legs is really good. But if you haven't got a boulder or a blanket and you do have lower spine issues, take your feet mat width apart and lock your knees in together. Okay, so we're laying here, whatever position you're in, you're nice and comfortable. Taking your arms so that the arms are away from the body, palms are facing upwards, shoulders back and down and nice and relaxed and soft. And then just release your neck out, rolling your head side to side, gently releasing it out. And then coming back to centre. Again, allow your body to start relaxing, get yourself comfortable wherever you are. We're going to take a little check-in, see how bodies are feeling tonight. Every time we do a practice, our body's feeling a little bit different. Sometimes they're feeling tight, other times they're feeling great. So just looking at your toes and your feet and your ankles, how they're feeling today. And then working up over your calves, and your knees and your thighs. Checking in with both legs and notice any areas that are a little bit tense. Ask them to soften down. And start to look now around your pelvis, your lower core and your glutes, your stomach, your mid-spine, your upper spine and your chest. Check that spine, how's it feeling? Looking up and down. Let it be soft. Any niggles, ask them to just soften down. And we're looking at our hands, our fingers, our wrists, the lower arms, your elbows and your upper arms. Both arms, how are they feeling today? And your shoulders, we hold so much tension in our shoulders. Let them relax, let them be soft down. Let your neck be heavy and your head. Relax all your facial muscles, the jaw, the eyes, the forehead. Let everything just rest down. Top of the head, let it go. And then scan your body yourself from tip to toe, top to toe. Checking how you're feeling. And any areas that are a little bit off today, concentrate on those throughout your practice. Be aware of them. Be aware of your body. Just going to lay here for a few moments. Let the breath bleed in through the stomach. That's our calming breath, our resting breath. You breathe into the chest. It's a sign of panic. Keep the breath soft. I'm going to do just a little breath work now. So breathing in, pulling the core down to your spine. And as you breathe out, I want you to push the belly up into the air. This is reverse breathing. Breathing in, sucking the core down, sucking the belly down, pushing the back into the spine. And as you breathe out, breathe the air into the belly and push the belly up, let it rise. Breathing in, pulling the belly down, pushing the spine into the mat beneath, squeeze the core, and then breathing out, pushing the belly to rise. And then come to gentle, your natural breath again. And we're going to take that the opposite way, so we're going to breathe in and allow the belly to rise with the breath in. And as we breathe out, we're going to allow the back to soften down. Breathing in, allowing the belly to rise. Breathing out as the back goes down into the mat. And the breath goes out of the mouth, pulling the core in. Do that again, breathing in, allowing the belly to rise. Breathing out through the mouth. The back goes into the floor. And then again, rest there. Your natural breath. And start to just sort of take the awareness now to our body. Letting our arms, our legs move gently. Keeping the eyes closed down if you can. If you've got a boulder rolled up, or if you've got a blanket there, take your feet so that they're nicely on the boulder. Don't worry if you haven't got one and your feet are on the floor, you can still do this move. Taking your arms out into a T shape. Breathing in, pulling in that core tightly. So you're breathing in through the nose. You breathe out through the mouth. You allow your legs to drop down to the left-hand side. Gentle spinal twist here. When you get to your point of comfort, relax down, let everything go. Breathe into tense areas, ask everything to be soft. Starting to warm this spine now. Breathing in, pulling in the core. And at the same time you bring your legs to centre, you keep that core tight. And as you breathe out, you hold the core tighter and you drop the legs over to the right hand side. Get to your point of comfort and you release down. Breathing there. same time you bring your legs to centre, breathing out when you get there, holding the core tight. Breathing in, pull the core tighter, and bring one leg, your right leg towards you. Breathing out, hold the core tight. So with Pilates, we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose, pulling in the core, and bringing up the left leg to join us. Breathing out, hold that core tight. Both legs squeezed in, keeping the core tight as you can. Breathing there, allowing the mid and the lower spine to gently open. And then release them just gently, not all the way down. And then start to bring them back in. Breathing out as you release the legs away. Breathing in as you pull the legs towards you. Each time you hold that core tight. Breathing out, breathing in. Breathing in as the legs go away. Breathing out as you pull the legs back towards you. Mobilising the spine very slowly and very gently. And then coming back to centre, allowing the feet to go down. If you've got a boulder or a blanket rolled up, let's move that away now. Take that over to one side. So we're going to take our hand weights now. We're going to go straight into sit-up mode. So we're going to keep the spine going, we're going to keep it rolling now, we're going to roll it up and we're going to roll it down. So let's start with our feet so that they're hip width apart, flat on the mat. Breathing in, taking our hands behind our heads, holding our core tight. And as we breathe out, we gently lift. We're working the upper spine and we're working the core. Breathing in as you low down, breathing out as you rise up. Every breath in you pull in your core, every breath out you pull the core tighter. Keep doing that, keep working the spine, keep working the core. And if you want, you can take the hand weights each, you don't have to, it's entirely up to you. You might want to take the feet slightly further away, then you're going to start to sit up very slowly. Again, you can stay where we are. You can do it without the hand weights. You can just be sitting there. You don't have to use the weights. You come up where is good for you, but you're not throwing yourself up. A lot of people, they tend to sort of get to here, and then they go to come up and they can't do it, so they throw themselves. That's not good on your spine. Let's try not to do that. Let's try and roll up smoothly. You might want to take your hands over, bringing them forward, rolling yourself up, bring yourself up as far as you want to come and bring yourself down. You might want to take the legs long and have a classic sit up, keeping the feet on the ground, holding the core tight. Now if you're with me, then you come up to seated. If you've been doing your sit-ups lower down, then roll yourself onto your side and come to seated. We're going to start to bring the spine forward. So we're sitting up nice and tall, shoulders back and down. You might want to take your little bum cheeks outwards, seat bones, sitting back, shoulders back and down, breathing in, pulling in that core. And as you breathe out, you gently start to bend forward. Now we're not just dropping and hanging down, we're coming forward. So we've got a straight back and we're coming forward. You might not be coming too far, we're still warming the spine, just gently pulling yourself down. Harder to hold the core here. You're coming down. If you can squeeze the core, give it a little squeeze as you come down. And then bringing yourself back up. Taking hold of your hand weights. Let's do a few more sit-ups. If you need to sit up from the floor, roll yourself onto your side and bring yourself back onto your back. Come on from your left-hand side if you have low blood pressure when you're coming down. Coming all the way up again. Let's start working the spine again. Rolling it, rolling down, rolling up, And as you roll down, try and C-curve yourself down rather than dropping back. Having a nice smooth motion with that spine, rolling it gently. Curling down. Bring the arms up, you can take them right over. You do whatever's good for you. Trying to keep the feet firmly on the mat. And then last time, bringing yourself up again, holding that core tight as you come up. Take a nice seated position, take the hands out to one side. Come up to our seated position, get our nice seat bones there. Shoulders back and down, breathing in, holding that core. And as you breathe out, straight back, you start to bring yourself forward, opening and warming the spine a little bit more. Bringing yourself down. You might be able to come a little bit further forward this time, but don't force anything. And then sitting yourself up. Move the hand weights just out of the way so you don't catch them when you're doing anything. We're going to come round onto all fours now. So bring yourself round onto all fours. Just going to put an elastic in my hair, guys. Going to do a little bit of cat-cow, warming our spine again, working that spine. So coming onto all fours. Now, a lot of people, when they do cat-cow, they drop and they bend. That's absolutely fine if that's how your body likes it and that's how you feel good doing it. You do that. If you're coming with me, I roll my spine. So I'm breathing in, I'm rolling back, I'm bending my spine, and I'm coming up. And then I breathe out and I roll my spine back down and I push myself up into my cat-cow. So we're breathing in and we're breathing out. Really push up. Breathing in. You breathe in through the nose and you breathe out through the mouth. Breathing in. Rolling that spine. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Excellent. Bring yourself back to a nice tabletop position. We've got a nice flat back here. Then curl our toes underneath. We're going to come up into a downward dog. And first of all, we're just going to do a little practice, a little working of our toes here. Breathing in, pulling in that core tight. And as we breathe out, we hold the core tighter. And we lift the knees just an inch off of the floor, not too much. And we hold it there, nice straight back. Holding it there for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And allow the knees to go down. You can put your knees down at any time, you don't have to start there. We're going to do that one more time. Breathing in, pull that core tight. And as we breathe out, the core remains tighter and we lift our legs just an inch off the floor, our knees. 5, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Never hold your breath either. A lot of people tend to hold their breath. You must breathe, keeping the core tight with every breath. So now we're going to come up into our downward dog. So take your hands, just one hand forward from where your normal position would be, keeping the curls toed under, breathing in, pulling in the core. As we breathe out, you lift the knees and you start to push up into the toes, bringing yourself up into that lovely downward dog. Don't worry if your feet are not flat on the ground, or people have their toes up, it's absolutely fine. And what the aim is to aim to push your chest towards your knees. It's a nice downward dog here. This is really good for you. You've got the head below the heart, blood's pumping. It's a lovely move. So now it's recognised as a yoga move, but Pilates, we do this too. Holding it there. Opening the spine, full length of the spine here. Really working it. Trying to hold the core if you can. I know it's a little bit more difficult when we're in these sort of poses. But do try. And don't forget, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Every breath in, you release slightly. Every breath out, you take that a little bit deeper with the push. Breath in, breath out. Now you can bend your knees here, or you can just walk your hands back towards your toes. Just hang where you can. We're trying to get our chest down as far as we can. So if that means bending your knees so that your chest is on your thighs, then do that. And just hang in there, taking hold of opposite elbows and allow yourself to hang. Take the support of the thighs. You might want to rock yourself gently. And just nod your head yes. And shake your head no. Hang in there. Then allow the hands to drop down. Straighten your knees, keeping that core pulled in. Breath in, and as you breathe out, you allow your hands to come across the front of your legs. They start to come up. Your lower spine lifts. Your mid-spine lifts. All the time your core is tight. The upper spine lifts. The shoulders go back and down. The neck lifts. And finally, your head. So you're standing nice and tall. Okay, this is our Pilates. Roll up, roll down. It's absolutely brilliant for the spine. So shoulders back and down, standing tall, breathing in, pulling in that core. And as you breathe out, you hold that core tight. You take your chin to your chest, just the chin to the chest. Then you start to roll down. Keeping the core tight, squeeze the glutes. The shoulders come forward. You start to roll the hands down the front of the legs. The upper spine goes down. The mid spine goes down. And the lower spine. You go to wherever's good for you. If you want to bend your knees at any time, bend your knees. Allow yourself to hang when you get to your point of comfort. Trying to hold the core, and don't forget every breath in through the nose, every breath out through the mouth. All the time holding the core tight. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth, holding the core tight. Hands to the front of the legs. Rolling ourselves up. Slowly, 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 one vertebra at a time. The slower you go, the more work it is on the spine to help it. The upper back comes up, the shoulders go back and down, your neck lifts, and finally your head. You can always close your eyes down as well if that helps. Breathing in, breathing out, chin to chest. Core tight. The head comes down, the neck comes down. The shoulders come down, the hands come forward. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Every time, pull that core. Getting yourself down to a point of comfort and hanging there like a rag doll again. Wherever you are, just hang. Be kind to your spine. Breathing in, pulling in the core. And as we breathe out, we roll up again, one vertebrae at a time. The slower you go, the better it is for your spine. The upper back comes up, shoulders go back and down, your neck lifts, and finally your head. Let's do that one more time, shoulders back and down, breath in, breath out, chin to chest. The head comes down. You're squeezing the glutes, the shoulders come forward, the hands go down the front of the legs, the upper spine, the mid spine, and your lower spine rolls down one vertebra at a time. You hang at your point of comfort. You're breathing, you're pulling in that core, and as you breathe out, you bring yourself back up one vertebrae at a time again. Shoulders back and down, the neck and the head lifts. Okay, amazing. Right, I'm going to do a little bit of side work, so the spine is working sideways, taking yourself now so that your legs are wider than hip width, and you start to just release down, just gently, don't go too crazy, just working the side now, working your spine in different ways. Side work here as well. And each time you come down, you can come a little bit further, working the spine sideways. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth, core tight. Coming up to standing. You might want to take your legs a little bit wider here. We're going to take our right leg so that the toes are pointing outwards, and our left leg, our toes are pointing forward. We turn our body so that we're over our right leg. We breathe in, we hold that core, and as we breathe out, we bend down over the right leg. You might want to take your fingers to the mat. You might not be down there, they might be here. You might have your hands on your hips. You go where's good for you. You bring yourself down, and again we're aiming for the chest to go towards the knees. When you get your comfort, you might want to take your hands to your feet. You might want to take them to the ankle. You might want to keep them up here on your hips. Wherever is good for you and wherever you feel comfortable. Stretching the spine gently. You also get a stretch down the back of the leg on this one. Walking yourself back up. Slowly turning the body, turning the feet. Let's do that in the opposite way now. We've got our left toes out, our right toes facing forward. Turn our body, so now we're over our left leg, breathing in, holding that core. And as we breathe out, we lower ourselves down gently over our leg. As I said, wherever you wish to go, whatever's good for you. You might find this side is tighter, I'm finding this side tighter. You go to where's good for you, you hold it there, you keep the core tight. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then gently coming back up. Bring your feet together. Coming round. Right, we build ourselves up now. We get a nice warm spine. We've worked it in lots of different ways. Now we're going to take a few little lunges. We're going to go forward, and then we're going to see if we can take our bind. So we're taking our right leg forward, and we've got our left leg back. So we're not actually just dropping down like this. We're keeping our legs so that we've got our right knee bent. Can see our toes in front of our knee, and we're just holding on here, and we're just allowing our body to just come forward. You might want to take your hands down, whatever's good for you, just bringing ourselves forward here. It's a type of lunge, but it's with the leg rather than bending. It's just with the one leg, bringing ourselves back up, holding ourselves there. Bend down in the knee again. Breathing in, holding the core tight, and as you breathe out, you allow yourself to bend down. Holding it there. Bringing yourself back up, straightening the leg. With the leg straight, you're going to now bend down again. Take your hands to the ground, you can take them to the foot, wherever's good for you. Just holding it there. Bringing yourself back up. Do that one more time. Breath in, holding the core, leg straight this time as we drop down. Working up that spine, coming close to the bind. Bringing ourselves back up. Step forward with the left leg. Taking the right leg back. Bend in our front leg and our left leg now. Still being able to see our toes in front of our knee. Breathing in, and as we breathe out, we bend forward, holding it there. Keep the core tight, keep the breath tight. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth, holding the core tight. Bringing yourself back up. Bend the knee again. Bring yourself forward, over again. Core nice and tight. Hold that core. Holding it there. 3, 2, and 1. And push yourself up. This time we're going to do it with our straight leg. So breathing in, breathing out, holding that core as you bring yourself down. If you're finding you're wobbling, take your hands down to the mat so that you've got a nice stability. Don't compromise. Holding it there. Bringing yourself back up. Going to do that one more time, breathing in, and as we breathe out, we bring ourselves down over the leg. Don't forget, use your hands for support if you need to. Bring yourself back up, bringing that right leg forward to meet the left leg. Okay, we're going to try and take the bind now. Taking our left leg back, so we're in the same position that we were in before. We've got our leg bent forward here. We're going to take our right hand, first of all, we're going to take it down to the inside. That might be enough for you, the inside of the foot. Let me turn around so you can actually see me this way. So here, I've got my right leg bent. If you want, you can take your hand there and you can open here. So we're opening the spine and we're lifting ourselves up here. Okay, you might want to stay there. Oopsie. You might just want to take hold of the calf. You might actually just want to do it from the knee. Whatever's good for you. So I'm going to have to go back this way so you can see the bind. So stay where you are there. So I've got my leg, I've got my hand down here. I'm opening my chest. The bind, you bring the right hand under and you take hold of the left hand if you can and you open yourself up. So you're looking up to the ceiling, you're opening, you're pulling the shoulders back. We don't really want to be down here, just compromising everything. You might just be here if that's too much, or here. If you're taking the bind and you can't open your shoulders, then you're compromising yourself and you're compromising your spine. Holding it there for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing, bringing yourself up slowly, bringing the left leg to meet the right. Okay, this time we're going to take our right leg back. We have our left leg bent, we've got our toes we can see in front of our knees. We're either here, opening ourselves up, chest open. If you want to bring your hand down, open your chest from there. If you want to take the bind, you now take the left hand under. You hold with the right hand, and as you can see, I'm lifting myself up. I'm pulling myself up. I'm not hanging down. You can take, if you've got a belt or a band, you could hold that in between so that you've got your shoulders up and you've got a band between your hands. So you've got lots of options here that you can do with a bind. So let's hold it wherever you are for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing yourself down, bringing yourself to the front, and give yourself a little clap, guys. That was really good. So that was us working up to our bind today. We're going to take a few little stretches. So we're going to stretch our arms, taking our right arm up, taking it over our head, and we're dropping it, holding it down. So we've got our feet nice and firm on the floor, and the arm is dropping down. If you can take the left arm and you can take hold of the fingers. And this is another bind here, opening out. And again, if you've got a strap, you can hold the strap between them. Whatever's good for you. Stretch the arms, pulling in that core, make sure that core's tight. And then release down, shake the arms. Left arm goes up, comes down the back. You might just want to push gently with the right arm on the elbow. You might want to take the bind with the fingers. You might want to use a strap for that bind. Holding it there, Keep the core tight, squeeze the glutes as well. Keep everything tight, holding that there. And then releasing your hands, giving them a nice shake. Okay, we're going to come down onto our backs, a little stretching, and then we're going to go into some relaxation. So if you're coming down with me, coming down to the floor, and we go from a seated position. If you want to come down from your side, again, as I said, left-hand side for low blood pressure. So sitting with our seat butts nice and comfy on the mat, feet hip width apart, nice and firmly on the mat, taking our arms out in front. We're going to C curve down. So C curving is literally curving. It's not just dropping back. We're taking our arms out, we're breathing in, we're pulling in our core. And as we breathe out, we start to C curve down, holding it there. Now when we get to a point that you can't hold it with your core, use your hands behind your thighs and take the support of your thighs to come down. Do not compromise your spine. Breathing in, breathing out, holding that core tighter, holding it there. Breathing in, breathing out. Hold it there. Don't forget you've got your thighs if you need them. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, bring yourself slowly all the way to the floor. Keep the core tight. Let's take a nice full body stretch here. So you can take it with your feet long. You can take it with your legs knocked in together and your feet mat width apart, whatever's good for you. Breathing in, pulling in that core. And as you breathe out, spine goes down into the mat beneath you, holding that core, and you're pushing away. If you've got your legs here, you're squeezing the legs together and you're pushing away with the arms and you're pulling in your core, your back is going into the mat beneath. Stretching away, wherever you are, whatever feels good for you, and release down. Lovely, let's do that again. Big breath in, breath out, stretching away. Releasing. Okay, taking your feet up, everybody now. So we've got our feet mat width apart. You can take the stretch here. We can take it with our feet hip width apart, or you can take, let's start with our right leg over our left. Wherever is good for you, take one of those three positions. Breathing in, pulling in the core. And as we breathe out, we allow our legs to drop over to the left-hand spine, left-hand side, opening the spine. Taking your arms out, keeping our shoulders firmly on the mat. Got a T-shape with our arms, or we can take cactus arms. Cactus arms will open your chest more. You could take your gaze over to the opposite arm, and then rest down there. Let everything go. Breathing in, pulling in that core, and at the same time you bring your legs to centre. Keep the core squeezed in. Breathing in, crossing the leg, breathing out with the feet down to the mat, keeping the core pulled in, don't let it go. Breathing in, pulling in the core, taking the left leg over the right, breathing out. You drop the legs over to the left-hand side. Sorry, you drop the legs over to the right-hand side. It's all right, you can shoot me now. I've got it wrong all the way through. Get to your point of tension and rest down. Taking your gaze to the opposite arm. Breathing in, pulling in the core, and at the same time you bring the legs to centre, uncrossing the legs if you have them crossed, getting yourself nice and central, keeping the core tight. Breathing in, bringing up the left leg. Breathing in, bringing up the right leg. Squeezing the legs together, squeeze them towards you, opening the spine. Gently release away, breath in, pulling in the core, breath out. Then releasing the legs down. If you want to take your boulder or your rolled up blanket again. Take that now for your final relaxation. So we're taking it underneath our knees to allow the legs to just hang and be comfortable. Taking the arms out away from the body, allowing the arms and the palms to be facing upwards if you want to bring in a little bit of energy. If you feel all over the place and you feel like you need a little bit of grounding today, you can take your hands, set their palms face downwards. Try and ground yourself a little bit more, steady yourself and centralise your body. Whatever's good for you and however you're feeling. Closing the eyes down now so your focus is internal. Wriggle the fingers and the toes. And then stop. Allow all 10 toes to just rest down. The soles of your feet, the tops of your feet and your ankles. Rest your calves, your knees and your thighs. Let both legs be heavy. Rest in your glutes, your pelvis, and your lower spine. Your mid-spine and your belly. Your upper spine and your chest. Your torso heavy into the ground beneath. All 10 fingers, the backs of your hands, the palms of your hands, your wrists, your lower arms, your elbows and your upper arms, both arms rested. Allow the shoulders to be heavy, let them rest down. Release your neck and release your head. Feel the weight of your head as it rests into the mat beneath. Allow all your facial muscles to just rest down. Let the jaw go. Maybe parting your lips, allowing the tongue to be removed from the top of the mouth. Let your cheekbones rest down. Your eyes, your eyelids, your eyebrows, your forehead, and finally, top of your head. Your whole body rested, laying still with just your natural breath, rise and fall in your belly. Take your concentration to that breath. Anything else that comes into your mind, just acknowledge it, let it go. Go back to your breath. Let's just try and realign our chakras now. So concentrating in the centre of your belly in a clockwise motion. Start to make the turn to a clockwise motion from the belly. Getting that circle to slightly increase. So it's now bringing in the chest and the lower core. The circle gets bigger, brings in your pelvis and your neck. slightly bigger, it brings in the tops of your arms and the tops of your legs. It gets wider and it brings in the arms. It starts to circle deeper and it's bringing in your calves. It starts to circle even bigger. That circle is bringing in your feet. And then the circle goes over the top of your head. So your whole body is working in a clockwise motion. Visualize your body working clockwise. And then stay still. Back to your breath, the rise and fall in your belly. Start to bring your awareness now back to the room. Keeping the eyes closed down if you can, visualising the room that you're in. Wriggling your fingers and your toes. Deepening your breath, waking yourself up. And then when you're ready, bringing your feet up, either onto the mat or onto your boulder or blanket. And then when you're ready, taking your legs over to one side, whichever side you're going to take the legs over. Shift your hips to the opposite side before you allow the legs to drop down. And if you have low blood pressure, come down onto your left. You come over and you make a pillow for your head with the arm. Your lungs are free and open, so breathe deeply into them. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then we're going to come over onto all fours. So try and keep your eyes closed down if you can as you come down onto all fours. Looking down at the ground, blink your eyes open. We're coming up to standing, we're going to do that slowly. So curl your toes under. Walking your fingertips to your knees. Pushing your knees off of the floor. Keeping the core tight now, bring your fingertips towards your toes. And bring your feet flat on the floor. One last hang here for the spine. Taking your hands onto your hips, bend your knees and gently start to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Very slowly, all the way to the top. That Pilates roll up. Shoulders go back and down, neck and the head. Roll those shoulders, shake the hands. Big breath in and breath out. Shake those fingers, big breath in. Take your palms together, bring your feet together. Take your palms down to your heart. Give yourself a bow and give yourselves a clap. Well done, guys.